What's up, YouTube? Welcome to AnTalk, the weekly comic conversation. I'm joined here again with my guest, Zach Warda. Tell him hi.
What's up?
Just last night, we saw a limited screening for The Killing Joke, Warner Brothers animation based on the graphic novel written by Alan Moore. The film stars Mark Hamill as the Joker and Kevin Conroy as Batman, two iconic, maybe two of the most iconic, some would say, of our generation, of those characters. This is going to be kind of a double review. We're going to do a review on the novel itself and the film. And let's start off with the novel. You read the novel, obviously. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I love it. You know, it's a classic. Probably the most famous Batman Joker, comic out there now, and definitely gaining popularity now with the new movie out.
Yep, it's definitely one of the darkest, and it also sheds light on a little bit of a Joker origin story, which is totally different. And some people, they like their Joker, ambiguous, no origin story, but it's not an official to the lure storyline, so take it as you will. But yeah, I enjoy the novel a lot. I love how it gets deep into their dynamic and the relationship between them two, and how really it's really about the thin line between insanity, I think. Batman and Joker are really two sides of that coin, and I really enjoy, especially towards the end, when you kind of feel like where it's not just hate for each other. Yeah, there's a little bit of love.
Yeah, I like how it's kind of like Joker trying to put almost all the characters through what he felt.
Exactly.
It's not only Batman but also Commissioner Gordon and just everybody.
Yeah. Oh, what Gordon goes through is quite a bit. By the way, there's no spoilers right now, but in a few minutes we'll get to spoilers, and then we'll go all out on the story. So obviously we both are fans of the book, and it's iconic, it's great, it gets deep into those characters. What's not to love? It's written by Alan Moore, who's a great author. Things like Watchmen, another one of my favorites.
V for Vendetta.
Yeah. Great stuff. But okay, the film. What do you think of the film?
I loved it, and I hated the beginning. Overall, where it actually is based on the novel, I loved, but just the added beginning was.
I feel pretty much the same way. I didn't completely hate the beginning. There's aspects of the beginning I don't think I like, but I did like it, just seeing those voices, Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, some of those lines that are in that graphic novel. Yeah, it was something to see. I dug the animation for the most part, and to be honest with you, I'm ready to get into spoilers from here on out. All right, spoilers. Let's get right into some of the differences between the novel and the book itself. I'm sorry, not the book, the film. Obviously, the beginning, big difference. You hated it. Tell me why you hated it.
The whole way they fleshed it out, with Batgirl and Batman's relationship. It wasn't only that one really awkward part. Yeah. It was throughout the whole thing. They were, hinting at them having a relationship. Yeah. She was talking to that gay guy, about it. And, just, hinting on it. And then it got extreme.
Exactly. It did.
And that just made me,
took a turn.
All right, no.
Yeah, and, for sure, it got weird, and even in the audience at this screening, you could tell people were laughing and everyone was kind of like, oh, what's going on? And I remember saying to my brother for at least 5 minutes through this movie, what the hell is going on?
Right.
Because what happens is the beginning is kind of like an introduction, since the movie has got to be a little longer because the book isn't long enough for a feature film. So they put in, obviously, Barbara Gordon with her getting shot later on. They wanted to add some weight to that, so they gave her character as Batgirl a little bit more, and it's kind of like an episode that's tacked on to the beginning,
pretty much.
And it's mostly about her, and they do hint at this weird relationship between her and Batman. And at first, it's it's just not really Batman; it's more her.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a point where she's mad at him because he doesn't want her to go on the mission because he thinks it's getting too personal. And they kind of, they go at it for a bit, and there's some tension, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, they start going at it. And then there is a sex scene. It cuts to black, but there's a sex scene between Batgirl and Batman. And it's weird. And for a minute, I feel like it got kind of like a soap opera almost. It got kind of weird, like just the aftermath of it. And like you pointed out about Batgirl, do you think they kind of over-sexualized her a little bit?
Yeah, they definitely went out of their way to like make her like a sex figure, like make her sexy, and like they like showed it off, like just the angles they use,
right?
Like like when we see that jogging scene, like the first thing you see is her body. You don't even see her face or her head.
It's
or
like
nothing.
her butt first,
and
then it like goes up her back, and you see her breast, and kind of.
It's like they totally went out of their way to like make that obvious.
The morning after the sex scene, she's like in the bathroom in just her underwear, and I feel like they really did do that.
Like they like zoom in close on her breast when Joker unbuttons her shirt.
Yeah. I feel like it's like they had like a fanfic fantasy of her Batgirl or something. I don't know what they were trying to do. It was weird. I didn't totally hate the beginning because I feel like it made sense to add something about Batgirl in there because it does give that scene later when the Joker shoots her. To especially your average moviegoer who might not have read the comic and might not even know who Barbara Gordon is, it would add more weight to that. And
see, like to me, it like if you're gonna add a story for Batgirl before like she gets shot, at least make it like cool, like make it like badass Batgirl, not sexy, like weird story.
Right. And if you're gonna make Batman, I get like the part how he wants her off the case, blah blah blah, because he cares about her, but I want her to care about her because she's young and inexperienced, and he looks at her like a student / daughter in some type of way, not because he's got a secret. He's secretly in love with her. It's weird.
It's definitely weird.
It is really weird. But like I said, it's not. I don't think it's completely unnecessary to have the beginning. Aside from that, and aside from that, I think I love the movie. Other than that,
I thought it was a great movie overall. It was just that the way they portrayed and made that relationship between them just it ruined the beginning of the movie for me. I would just have liked to see it play out differently, basically.
Right. And other than the beginning of the movie, there weren't a whole lot of differences. There was a couple added fight scenes. He fights the freaks at the end of towards the end, and he fights like a gang of mobsters. He comes in and the mob boss, and he sends his thugs, and it's just kind of like trying to find Joker, if I remember right.
Right. Yep.
And there's a line in that scene where I kind of like it. I think it's added. I don't think it's from the novel, where the guy tells him in our line of work, and Batman says criminals, and the guy's like, whatever you call it, we're scared of you, but we're terrified of him, meaning the Joker. And I like that.
That was definitely a dope line.
Yeah. Joker is one of my all-time favorite characters, so this movie obviously is going to have some type of, it's going to move me in some type of way, especially with the way the novel is and presents these characters.
Yeah, and especially with Mark Hamill doing the voice too. Like, come on, like, that is the Joker to me. Like, he will always be the Joker's, like, voice.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, what any other differences?
I mean,
the end, the very, very end, in the novel.
Yeah, they kind of appear different. Like you said, the novel appears to be more dark.
It's a little darker, more ambiguous,
and kind of creepy almost.
Yeah,
but like in the movie, it's kind of, it's lighter. You can tell it's like kind of comedy. It's it's not as dark.
He just puts his hands on the Joker's chest, and it's like, it seems pretty genuine. The laughing, and what else? Any other differences? The scene it's kind of in between where everything from the novel picks up and the Batgirl beginning,
when he goes in that room.
Yes, with the 4 dead bodies. Yeah. They're all smiling, and there's a mic. They're all facing a microphone.
Yeah,
and that's what kind of sets up the Joker. And then that's when Batman goes to Arkham to visit, and that's when you start. And
yeah, I like that. I like how they added that in there, because it was also like dark and creepy.
It was
like
dark,
something you would have seen in the novel.
I like it.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and so any other things that dislikes that stick out to you?
One thing I did like also is the way they made the animation look so similar to the novel.
I did enjoy the animation.
Yeah, it was like they didn't try to make it look like the normal animated things that we've been seeing from DC. They kind of made it actually look more like the novel's art than, how we've been seeing other things.
And definitely, I would definitely agree. And one thing I definitely liked in the beginning, before the movie played, and like we said, saw this in the theaters last night, and it was a limited screening, so the diehards were there, the big fans, so you had your cheers. People were excited when the guy comes on in the beginning and says, who else could play this or do these roles other than Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. Everybody, went crazy, and they had a little kind of like an interview or whatever with Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that was. I'm glad they threw that in there in the beginning. It kind of got you more excited to watch the movie.
They talked about pretty much his whole career. It started off with him getting the part to Luke Skywalker and transitioning into the Joker. And I like how he said, like, he thought they would never let him be the Joker because you can't have Luke Skywalker play the Joker. It was just fun. It definitely enhanced the movie, because like it said at the end of it, it said the legacy continues now, and the movie played. Yeah, and I mean, who doesn't like Mark Hamill as the Joker, honestly, and Kevin Conroy for that. Yeah,
like I said, they'll always be the Batman and Joker. Like, those are the voices you hear when you're reading the novel. Like, that's.
Exactly.
Like, that when those voices in your head while you're reading those are the two people you hear for those characters. So they picked the right people for this movie for
sure. And one thing about this that sometimes I feel like almost gets forgotten about the novel and the movie, what Detective James Gordon has to go through in this movie.
Yeah.
Quite hell, basically. And he doesn't break. The whole plan, Joker's whole plan is to drive Gordon to the brink of insanity to basically prove that everybody's just a bad day away from being him.
Yep.
And what Gordon, he puts him through, and what, you know, and how he doesn't break. It says a lot for his character too, right. And Barbara Gordon's. Like, that's a huge turning point in how she becomes Oracle and all that after. And it's the whole story is very iconic, and just seeing it brought to life is something, you know.
Yeah. And I kind of like how, like, after that, Batman says how it's just him, like, only you break this easily or something like that. Like, just saying, like, how crazy he really is, you know?
Yeah, and he goes, no! And he pulls his mask over and gets away for a minute. But I one thing, my favorite part of this book is probably the ending, the last few panels. Yeah. When, you know, he's got him beat, Batman's got Joker beat, and Joker's failed, and Batman, you know, sticks his hand out and says, you know, we could work together. Like, I will rehabilitate you, and you could tell that also in that moment. Like I said, I love how these are performed in the the animated film. You could tell that Joker feels it. He's moved by it, right. And when he says no, that he's too far, and maybe he is, but just you could tell, like, part of him wanted to say yes to Batman, and just you see that the relationship is deeper than just bad guy, good guy going after each other. And
even like it has always been that way, even before that novel. You know,
for
just
sure.
Like secretly, this didn't really show it as much as this did. It was just, it's more like in depth of their relationship
for sure. Any other overall thoughts you thinking?
Not really.
I pretty much said it.
I know for sure I want to buy it. So
it's definitely a rewatch for me.
Yeah.
What would you rate it out of 10?
I would give it an 8 probably. 8? 8 out of 10.
I was thinking 8 too. I was thinking 8.
Yeah. Because, you know, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I wanted to rank it high. Let's redo this a little bit. So, the film, 8 out of 10. What about the book? Like the rating of the book.
10 out of 10. Probably.
10 out of 10?
I love that book.
Yeah, just for the sake of 10 out of 10, not, you know, it's hard for me to give anything 10 out of 10. I'll just go 9 out of 10 for the book. Yeah. Because, you know, nothing is perfect. And for the film, I'll probably go 8 out of 10. That sex scene though, that's almost pushing a 7, but I love this story so much. I love the characters so much. I love the performances so much that I'm gonna have to go 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's it. That's our review of the graphic novel The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore, and Warner Brothers Animation's film Batman The Killing Joke, starring Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. This is AnTalk. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
See ya.